Well, here are my 24 breast chicken eggs. You know, garlic is coming up nice. It's like everything took. Five rows. I don't know how many in a row, but there's probably 300 or 400 in here. I don't know. No, maybe 200. But yeah, they're about 5 or 6 inches tall. I cut way back this year. It's just a lot of work. I'll give a bunch of it away and keep a bunch. I got a lot of garlic left over from last year, so I'm toning it down, freeing up a little more space in my garden. So I got raspberries here. Those I'm gonna transplant those and bring them down a little further here. Maybe make another row over and then split this into 2 rows. So dig out the center and I'll work my way over, maybe create 3 rows. And then I gotta wire them up, because this year they were falling over. Then I got my garlic, and then I've got asparagus. So I think there's like 30 asparagus plants. And I gotta research what I gotta do. Do I just cut these little stalks down, wait for the next growth? But there's 2 rows of asparagus here. And then this is all wide open. I have more leaves, so I'm gonna start putting more leaves on here, mow it up, rake it up, and add more leaves, and that'll be my garden this year. So nice big garden. Good morning, it's Steve here, walking out, feed the chickens. Yeah, I've got to invest in a higher fence and a finer mesh so that the chickens can't get through it. You know, when I bought it, this fence, it had like smaller squares in the bottom, but the hens just kind of blow right through it. So that's going to be another $160 investment. But I think it's worth it when you look at all the chickens that the fox has gotten on me. So they've been kind of penned up. They've got a lot of space now that there's only like 10 of them. But yeah, and they got 24 eggs hatching. I think there's maybe 8 more days on those. There they are. Got some hens. Hens are in there laying, I think. Yeah, there are hens in there laying. Good girls. Nothing in that one. So I'm just gonna refresh their water and throw them some scratch grains. But before I can put the other chickens in here, I've got to do some work. So I'm going to take some of this chicken wire here. I got another roll back there. And I'm going to cut that across, put a 2x4 across here, and then attach. And actually, I'll just use a 2x6 like I got down there. I've got a bunch of them outside, and then I'll put one across. That way they won't cut through here like they are knocking it down. And then I'll be able to separate the new chickens from the old. I'm going to still try and hatch eggs from these guys. That rooster's really got a nice broad chest. I'm gonna throw in some grains, maybe that'll quiet them up a little bit. There we go. Yep. Maybe she just laid one. Yeah, so kind of back to the drawing board, but I'll hatch these eggs out. I'll hatch these eggs out of these chickens and just see what I get. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, 10 or something, and then I'll 100% butcher those. I might get some special chickens with 3 legs or something. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because these are potentially mothers to those and sisters. But there are so many hens that, you know, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's not a problem. Just lay one. Let's see what we got for eggs. I didn't collect them yesterday. It's been a long week. So that's almost 2 days worth. 2 days worth here. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yeah, I'm averaging about 6 to 7 a day. It looks like they're in there laying. And I forgot my basket, so I'm gonna have to find a little bag to put them in. Anyways, not a lot of interesting content coming down. In the future, we'll be planting some seeds. It's starting to warm up. Like today's 68, and then yesterday I was in the 30s and it was snowing. So, you know, it might be still a little early to start, but I think I might. I'll go check the temperature in the greenhouse right now. Yeah, so we're at 64. degrees. I'm gonna fill these up with dirt, half of them, and then the other half I'm gonna use as covers to cover up so mice don't get in there. Last time I had a real problem with mice getting in here. And I've got to fix the roof up here. It's leaking and dripping water. Not that it's a big deal, but it does rain a lot here, and we're in the rainy season. I've got some of these tags that I use to mark some of my plumbing under the cottage for winter versus summer mode, closing valves. And so I thought maybe they might work good for like labeling the what I'm planting. I've got lots of seeds. I've actually got some seeds here from corn from down the road. I hung it up and dried it. Some of it's missing, but we'll see if it'll, here's some here. We'll see if I can't grow some of this. Here's a nice one right here. Plenty of seed. Amazing how many seeds you get on one ear of corn. So I might plant some of this and see if it takes. Another one up here. These are from last year's crop. All right. And I'm doing some grafting on some apple trees. Maybe I'll show you that. Yeah, I forgot my basket, so I found this jug in the barn. Quickly made myself a little egg basket. All right. So, 12 eggs. Breakfast for the weekend. So here's some grafting I'm doing. I guess the rule of thumb is that you can put 1 graft per inch of diameter. So these are a little smaller diameter, so I only put 1 graft in there. But these are the Granny Smith apple grafts from the tree that I have that's dying. Apple trees don't live very long, so what we did is we cut a lot, and you can see all the brush down here. I got to clean up. Did this last year, and we cut all these limbs because they're overgrown. And the idea is that once you get saplings coming off and new branches coming off, it gets established where that leaf growth will support this whole base tree. Then you cut this main stalk here off. It's just overgrown. That's how the whole tree was. So I'm trying to reclaim these trees and get them to producing apples again. The saying is you can't grow apples on wood. So I'll cut this one, I don't know, in here somewhere, and then I can graft probably 3 or 4 more onto that. I'll probably graft 3 or 4 more onto that. But I've got quite a few of these apple trees in here that are like that. But I wanted to try some grafting. So what you do is once you cut it off here, you put a vertical incision up about like that long, and then you peel the bark back, and then you shave off, and there's lots of videos on this, and then you take your stem here and you shave it down, you like whittle it down flat, and then you push and then cut a little bit off the backside, and then you push that down into that sapwood, and then you basically shrink it. And I do have some sealant for the end of this that I found. So I'm making a bed, replacing this metal frame bed with a nice wooden oak bed that I'm making. Here are the feet put together. Pretty much only going to see these boards down here. But this is my project, and these are boards that are going to support the bed frame underneath. So yeah, we'll show you how this is all put together soon. It's very pretty wood. So here are 3D CAD drawings I created that design the bed, and you can kind of see how it's all going to look. There's kind of a bottom view, and I'm going to hold it together with these in the corners, so 2 per each board at each corner. This center board here, that's going to be pine. And then all these slats, they're all cut. It's all the wood sitting over here waiting to be put together.